Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Matt, the lumberjack landlord. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Super excited to be here. And this is the awesome shirt that my wife got me for Christmas.
Sarcasm is how I hug.
It's how I hug. So if I'm being sarcastic with you, I like you.
Yeah, it's a good, yeah, if he's not sarcastic, that's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just going surgical and dicing you and tossing you. Yeah. Be gone.
You're irrelevant to me. You're not even seen. That is
Yep.
hilarious. Your wife knows you well. That is awesome.
She does.
What I want to talk about here is really for the investors or the players, as I'm now calling them, that they're in the game, right? They're doing the work. Maybe it's been hard finding one. Maybe they have one, maybe they have two units, and they're like, it's hard, it's slow. I want to go back and revisit my first 3 to 5 years. I want you to revisit yours. And I got good news and bad news. The good news is it's slow and hard for everyone, including us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the bad news is it's slow and sucks for everyone. The first 3 or 5 years are just hard, right? You don't yet have that snowball that Dion talks about. You don't yet have the ability to recycle capital, which is amazing, but it doesn't happen for a couple of years. And yeah, and again, you make mistakes. You make mistakes in the beginning that you wouldn't make later because you made them earlier, right? So it's just, people need to realize that just keep going.
It's hard. Anything worth doing is.
Yeah.
Anything worth doing is. Think about if you've got a career, right? And you've been doing it for 15, 20 years now. Is it infinitely easier than it was 3 to 5 years in?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Like, there's a reason, like, guys in your position, guys in my position, we're like, we really have to kind of be forced out if we're going to leave.
Yeah.
Because it's become clockwork. It's become dialed in. It becomes an algorithm that we run and how we run businesses. And it takes years to get that. And there's a lot of quitters. There's a lot of dead bodies along the way in the road to success.
Yeah.
Like, success is a journey. It is not a destination. And you have to judge your success level differently in every phase of the game. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to remind people that there's a couple of things that we've shared over the last year together that are awesome, but there's no way to get there except to have time tick by. Number one is the ability to recycle capital.
Yes.
If you read my book, One Rental at a Time, we went from 8 to 80 units, no new capital. That means everything was recycled. That was kind of year 4, year 5. And oh, by the way, I happen to be investing in the hottest market in the country by happenstance. So for most people, it might even be 5 or 6 years. But the ability to do 1031 exchange, the ability to do cash out refis that both you and I have done over the last 12 months, right, are awesome. But it takes time to build that equity and mortgage pay down and have the numbers work for it to make sense. Those things are coming. You will have those options. But it's going to be 4 or 5 years in the making. And I promise you, when you do your first recycle of capital, I bought a house. 3 years later, I took out, I bought 2 more. I used that capital, the same capital twice. That was an amazing feeling. It's like, oh my God, I get it now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now that you just said that, I was kind of thinking back in my head, because pretty much everything we acquired this year was via 1031 exchange or the major refi I did.
Yeah.
So we went from 50-ish units to about 100 units in a little over a year.
Right.
And that was with no new capital.
Exactly. And again, what year is this for you? Like year 18, 19?
I think 20. Yeah, I think
20,
number 20.
It's coming. That's why you got to do great deals. That's why you have to have cash flow. That's why you can't have alligators, right? All of these things, because I want you to survive the first 5 years. If you are someone like, there's a person in my book, One Rental at a Time, that said, I still can't believe he said this. He said, Michael, I can afford to have 5 alligators, what I call alligators, negative cash flow. I make so much money at my tech job. I can afford to lose $1,000 a month, 200 times 5. And I remember watching the whiteboard, and I write about it in my book in more detail, but it hurt my head, right? It's like, why do you want to sign up to lose no less than 12 grand? Because you and I both know water heaters break and evictions happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's $12,000 minimum loss.
Right.
1,000 times 12. So again, do great deals, do the work, learn the market so that you can hold through the first 5 years. That is the power of our portfolio today. And it just came to me as we're going through this. The reason we got to where we got to is we made sure the first 4 to 8 deals, all cash flowed.
Yes.
We didn't have to add, right? Unbeknownst, again, I didn't know where this conversation was going. That was what set us up. A lot of people that I saw blow up, maybe they were doing it the right way the first couple, but I was doing this in the last bubble run up, and people got stupid. The one thing that we got really lucky with is my mental math brain wouldn't let me go, how the hell can a 100K house that rents for 1,100 sell for 300 and still rent for 1,100, right? I just never could get there. And that's why we 1031. But I saw people sign up all the time. They were doing those stupid 2 and 28 loans. And I'm so glad I didn't go that way. Because again, I was the idiot who wasn't buying. Michael, what do you mean you're not buying? You bought all before. And why aren't you buying now? I remember the conversations. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And again, I felt like an idiot, but thankfully it went the other direction. So it was kind of crazy.
I agree. I think we had bought, I think we got one deal in 07, one maybe. But I don't think we bought any in 08. Yeah. And then we bought at the later half of 09. That's
when it already rolled over.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And again, I think you're exactly right. We see people do the math on a property and they're just like, but look at the numbers. I was like, I'm looking at them. I don't see what you see.
Yeah. Did subtraction in math work differently? The public education not work?
3% on a single family home that's worth $250,000. You just blow out 2 years of income with one water heater.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you're, at some point, just go buy a treasury bill. I mean, Jesus, a lot less risk, right?
Yeah. Well, the asset will appreciate, Mike, don't you know?
Because
they always go up.
Real estate slowdown, people. Again, I think what will happen when we look at 2020, the decade, is we will see the normal appreciation, which is about 15% for the decade. What people aren't going to realize is we got all of that in the first 2 years.
Yeah,
it's going to be like,
I think there's going to be a lot of people that get in. So kind of like Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin, I believe 17% of people in Bitcoin now have a cost basis of 57,000.
Oh, they got in. Yeah, they got in.
57,000. That's their cost. 17% of them, it's 57,000. Now I think this morning I saw it trading at 49.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of a haircut. Only if you sell though.
Only if you sell, right?
How's that money working for you? Where's the dividend? Where is it, like on a rental property? All that normal stuff that we typically cover.
Again, talk about we were able to hold, right? If you could hold, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Yeah, but there's a lot of people. Again, if you're buying for appreciation, you are not following one rental at a time.
No,
not okay. Right?
Nope. No, I have that conversation with people all the time. They're just like, yeah, but if it goes up another 20, if it goes up another what?
Yeah. No. Sorry.
No.
Strike.
No. Yeah. That is, I told them, I said, look at any successful real estate investor, and they will not have any calculation for appreciation.
It's just not allowed.
It's impossible to know what's going to happen in the market. The only thing you can bet on is rents are extremely sticky. 30-year fixed rate debt is also extremely sticky.
Yeah.
Like those things don't change. So yeah, I think people just need to really focus on the things that matter most, which is there she is.
Yeah. She wanted to say hi.
That's good.
Sorry.
It's always happy to say hi. But yeah, I think that's what people majorly miss is that they're counting on any level of appreciation. No, never, ever, never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever. You can't.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No, it's not. I mean, I've been doing this a long time and I think I'm a pretty good estimator, but you will never, none of my spreadsheets have appreciation. It is the cherry and whipped cream on top.
Yes, exactly. It is merely extra.
It's merely extra. Don't count on it. Please don't. No, if you come to me and go, oh, blah, 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 and you say appreciation, I'm going to stop listening. I'm like, nope, sorry. Nope.
That I always tell people too, that is the fastest way to get me to start screaming.
Yes. Exactly.
Like because I just go off on my tangent about appreciation. Yeah. I was just like, I never bought any deal saying, but in 5 years, it's going to be worth so much more. Because I lived in the time, as did you, in 06, where everything that everybody purchased was, you don't understand. When I refi in a year, when I refi in 2 years, you don't understand. The numbers are going to be insane. I'll be able to pull cash out.
Yeah.
And the other thing that disappeared too, Mike, I know that we haven't really talked about this. The other thing that disappeared too was the piggyback loan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
disappeared. And a lot of people might not know what that is, but the piggyback loan, you used to be able to get an 80% primary mortgage to avoid PMI.
Mhm.
And then they would piggyback anywhere from 10, 15, or even 20% on top of your core mortgage. So you were basically 100% financed.
Yeah.
Those don't exist anymore.
No. And again, if you were an owner occupant, I had, dude, this is crazy. I had people get 103% of loans.
Yes.
They were getting money for their furniture. We will help you furnish your house.
Yep.
And again, I will say, I was declining these people for tenants.
Yes. Yeah.
You're going to get a 103% loan. And I said, no, that doesn't make sense to me.
I had somebody that I denied that showed me their pick a payment from Wachovia.
Ah.
They showed me their pick a payment from Wachovia, and the pick a payment was like $300 a month less than what my rent was. I said, okay.
Well, guess I know how that ended. Yeah.
Yep. I watched that house for 2 years. That's all I needed to watch it for. Yeah. After 2 years, they were gone. I wasn't rooting for them to fail. No. I was truly interested in the process.
Yeah. How is this going to work? Is this a new financial way?
Mike, they didn't even get to, I mean, it was so maybe a little bit more than 2 years, maybe 2.5, because that Wachovia was, you didn't have to pay. The minimum payment was, I think, $1.
Oh my God.
That was the minimum payment was $1.
And again, what was happening at the time is they were taking all the interest and throwing it on the loan. So the loan was getting bigger.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And then with a 28-year AM.
Yes. And then the payment goes boom. And then you have what's called a strategic default.
Went from $1,800, which was $300 more than my rent. They started off at $300 less in their lower payment. And then they were like, yeah, but we don't even have to pay that. We can just pay literally $1 or $100 or whatever it was. I think it was either $1 or $100. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oishka.
Yeah. So again, folks, what we want to highlight here is, a lot of you are in the soup right now.
Yes.
And I want to encourage you to keep going. I want you to build your initial portfolio so you can hold during these times. It does get better. Cash flow will go up. NOI will go up. Your net worth will go up. It does happen. It's a get rich for sure business. It's not a get rich quick business. So, any closing thoughts as we wrap up episode number 3?
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And there are a lot of tough times that in landlording and starting out your journey and seeing what you don't know. And there's only, Mike and I could tell you 1,000 stories. We do every week. We tell you a ton of stories and of what happened to us, what our experience was. You will have some of those. Hopefully you don't have all of those.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't have all of them.
But they're stories because they happened. And so likely some of those things will happen to you that are just completely, you can't mitigate them. You can't fight against them. They're going to happen. You're going to need a roof. You're going to need a chimney line. You're going to have a hot water tank burst. You're going to have a heating system die. You're going to have a $2,000 window break. You're going to have these types of things happen to you. And if you've not managed the business well, you're going to remember and watch probably your first year's income go poof. And that doesn't mean you should quit. That means that you just need to build a better model with more understanding and better ideas. And especially it's even more difficult too when you're 3.5% down.
Yeah.
Because your nut's that much bigger every single month, just the way it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my closing thoughts.
Very cool, man. Well, how people can find you?
8 p.m. Thursday nights with Mrs. Lumberjack doing a couples show on Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube. Super excited about that new show and having fun with my wife. She's like, I really like just hanging out and talking real estate with you. I go, we do it otherwise. Like,
that's awesome. Yeah, she is wonderful. Check them out Thursday night. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Mike.